how should we interpret these mixed signals? Are we seeing genuine diplomatic progress or a familiar pattern where dialogue and pressure are being pursued in parallel?
We should interpret them with great humility and, as always, pretty much ignore anything said in public during the negotiation, and also not read too much into this childish business of whether they had a handshake or not. You're looking here at a classic situation where there's a whole mountain of demands made of Iran, and they're going to try to resist all of them if they can. And the question becomes, can there be a meeting of the minds, not the hands, where Iran's maximal concession meets the West's minimal demand? I think there's a strong current of thought in the West that says that Iran must not be allowed to enrich beyond the civilian level, must not be allowed to develop its ballistic missiles, and must be made to forswear any further support for these jihadist militias all over the region, which have truly been an outrage for about 30 years. It's hard to believe that it was tolerated. So Iran wants this to be only about nuclear, and they say that they will not agree to have no enrichment. And the one place I can really see there being potential give on the American side is that Trump has been insisting that they not enrich anything. Now, they're a member of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. They have the right to enrich to a civilian level. The problem is no one believes the Iranian regime. And so if they say they're enriching 5%, everyone's sure they're really enriching 80%, and they think they're hiding stuff from the inspectors. So Trump wants nothing. But I could see where there's an agreement to allow them to enrich to purely civilian levels, and that really means 5%. And Trump will say that this time the verification is real and not, the way it was under the Obama deal, which will probably be nonsense, but he'll claim it. And maybe that will enable everyone to declare victory. I think, though, that it's going to be hard because everything about this negotiation has this bad smell, given that Trump encouraged the Iranians to protest and to take over their institutions. And many thousands were killed. And that was not about a better nuclear deal. That was about getting rid of the regime that is oppressive to them and toxic to the region. And if Trump then, suffices with a deal on nuclear enrichment, not even ballistic missiles, and not even mentioning anything about the militias, he's going to look very weak. With Trump, you never know. You can't predict what one guy who's this strange is going to decide. But I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they're somewhat bluffing and if they've decided to attack, given the tremendously considerable armada that has arrived in the region. The Iranians' insistence on dictating terms, I mean, it might be a great negotiation, but it could also be very, very reckless. And I would also add that if the ballistic missile threat is not addressed, I think Israel may end up acting on its own to the degree that they can get permission from the U.S., but they may really push hard in that direction.
With that, I would like to thank Mr. Dan Perry for sharing that analysis with us on NewsX World.